Welcome to the 2014 Lifetime Marathon and Half Marathon. Dave Ragsdale, along with my broadcast partner, GP Perlberg. Year number 12, GP Miami, and boy, the energy level is very high.
Gets higher and higher. Great to be back with you again, David, for our 12th year. Started this in 2003. Grew from about 4,000 runners to 25,000 plus. The energy level higher and higher each and every year.
You know, the crowd, the world really is in Miami this weekend. Every country, I mean, I don't know that there's a country on this planet that's not represented. The world is in Miami.
The world is in Miami. So many countries, over 60 plus countries represented, every state in the union. And of course, currently for 2014, as you know, David, a lot of cold weather. Maybe you don't know, you live in Florida. A lot of cold weather, adverse weather up and down North America, Canada. So even more reason to come down to Florida this year.
The crowd is here. Our own Lee Zolman is long on the broadcast. He's back in the crowd talking to some of the runners.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with JJ from Team Lifeline. JJ, you guys are here every year. You're supporting the Lifetime Miami Marathon, Half Marathon. Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Sure. High Lifeline is the most amazing organization. It helps sick, ill children. Our slogan, as it says on all of our shirts, is fighting illness with love. All about love.
And how many years have you been doing this? How much money have you raised? Do you have any idea?
Yes. We raised over $2 million as a team. Me personally, it's my first year, but some people are coming back for their 5th, 6th, 7th year.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for having us. We're very excited.
What a lot of great energy, GP. The crowds are in the back, but right off the front, we've got some talented racers, don't we?
Each and every year, of course, David, along with the 25,000 runners, we have, let's say 20 to 30 really highly trained professional runners that will be out here today, of which out of those 20 to 30, you've got, say, 3 to 4 in the men's marathon, another 3 to 4 in the women's marathon, and about 5 or 6 guys in the half marathon men, and 3 specific women in the half marathon women that are really vying for some serious prize money.
We've got both of our winners back to defend. Gonzalez from Guatemala, first marathon ever last year, second marathon today. There's something about Miami for him, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's a great place to come back. You can be very reliant. The weather is generally pretty consistent here in Miami. You know it's not going to be cold. Gonzalez returning, he's used to the warmer weather. And Mariska Kramer returning, she was our last year's champion, coming all the way from the Netherlands, enjoying some warm weather. She's hoping to defend her crown this year again.
How about some tips from your side? Who else do you see on the list we should keep an eye out for?
Well, in the men's side, definitely we've got a 2:13 and 2:14 respectively, but that's both from Kenya. That is Zachariah Nyambaso and Samuel Malakwin. He is definitely a contender. Unfortunately, one of our favorites here, Slimani Benazuz, from Italy. He's a perennial favorite here. He lost his brother recently, so he's not able to make it. But those are the 2 Kenyans that would definitely favor on the men's side. And in the women's side, I mentioned Kramer already. And then over in the half marathon, you definitely got to look at some of our Kenyan runners. Two-Way and Tabit, both capable of going 102, 103 at 62 minutes for a half marathon. And then over in the women's side, American Shannon Miller. She's an up-and-coming runner looking to run around 115. But the favorite today for sure will be Salamet Malema from Ethiopia. She's looking to run about 113, so very, very fast. Got to practice my Ethiopian pronunciation.
By the 13-mile mark, we'll have that thing nailed down there. You know, we're talking about a very select group of internationals, but with 80 countries here, we've got a crowd of people who come from all over the world. We talked about it a little earlier. Lee Zolman is back, mixing in with the culture.
Dave and GP Venezuela is here in the house. Zaida, tell us, what distance race are you going to be doing?
I'm doing the half. He's doing the half, he's doing the full.
So you guys come from Venezuela just to run Miami. What's the best part about coming to Miami to race?
Oh, everything. I love Miami. The city is amazing, the people are amazing, the support is great, and the view. The track, I mean, we've done it consecutively. There's like 200 Venezuelans here this year. And
unbelievable.
We're all very excited. So best of luck to everybody.
The Venezuelans come and they bring great energy here to Miami. Dave, GP, back to you guys.
And they are underway. Here we go. Underway. Let's go. Let's go. Go, go, go. GP Perlberg. They have popped the cork. And while we're here at the front, can you imagine what's going on in the back with some of these athletes? They won't be running for several minutes, right?
They'll be underway by Tuesday. It is... No, you know, I spoke to some of those runners walking over to the start this morning, Dave. They're having a great time. Some of the runners down from Canada, from the cold weather, they just happen to be out of sub-zero temperatures and enjoying the day. It's a different story for these guys and girls up front.
So GP, we're hearing that's usually a fun mixture up here while we're right in the midst of both our half and fulls. And again, the first big hill and the only real hill is within a half a mile of the start line as we make our way over the causeway, over to beautiful South Beach. The runners, I don't think they even notice it, do that?
No, they really don't notice it at all. As you said, it's you know, early in the first mile. It's for most of these runners, maybe with the exception of South Florida, it's not even really a hill. But it's early enough where it's not a factor. Today, the factor, you know, is going to be more how's the warmth going to be, the humidity, and any kind of wind conditions as well.
75 degrees, race start condition, humidity not unusual, probably in the 70s or so. Not sure of the wind when you're in the downtown Miami area. The large buildings have the ability to kind of make wind out of nothing. So once we get out onto the causeway and, you know, the various sections of the course, we're moving in every compass direction, so the wind may not really be a factor.
It may not be a factor, right, exactly. This race goes in all different directions, but certainly the heat and humidity is going to be a factor. Less and less for the elite runners up front. First of all, they're not out there as long. But, you know, we were kidding around before about these guys having a party at the back, but it is a serious business. These runners, some of these runners are going to be 5, 6, 7 hours, and so as their fuel levels drop, the hydration levels drop, the humidity increases. It is a perfect storm for problems to occur, and that's why we have a fantastic medical crew out there to try and keep everybody safe.
Here's a look at some of our hand cyclists. They started the race 15 minutes early to get it clear of the runners, and you can see how much faster they go compared to the traditional racing chairs. And in just a mile or so, our lead half marathoners have already put plenty of distance between themselves and the rest of the field.
Got David Tue and Edward Tabut. These are the two of the lead half marathons. They come through the clock there in just under 5 minutes for that first mile. So quick, not super quick by their standards by any means. I think, again, they're aware of the humidity, and so they're probably a little bit cautious early on.
And runners are still pouring through the start line, lit up by the lights from the American Airlines Arena. The Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by American Airlines. The new American is arriving. And by Nissan, innovation that excels.
Our new planes don't fly any faster, but it sure feels that way. Because with power ports and Wi-Fi and in-seat entertainment for everyone on board, now when you fly, time flies too.
Sir, we're about to land.
We're adding a brand new plane with all this every week. It's just one way we're building the new American.
Welcome back to the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. As our leaders make their way along the iconic South Beach, here we are on Ocean Drive. The support of thousands of volunteers at the water stops along the way. And as we approach the 5 mile mark, they're just a little over 5 minutes per mile. So holding the pace, GP.
Yeah, it looks like George Tuet is, I mean, he's definitely the aggressor in the race, David. Number 105 there. He's definitely aggressive, but you know, his counterpart there, 106, Edward Tabut, is hanging in there. I mean, they'll throw some. These Kenyans, they like to surge and attack.
How common is it in a prize money road race of marathon, half marathon distance that in a half marathon, at this point of 5 miles, you have 2 men battling it out?
Oh no, it's very common. It's very common for sure. Usually, actually, you end up with a slightly larger pack of 5 or 6 guys, but no, not uncommon too. This is actually very interesting. It's like a prize fight. You see mano a mano like this, one-on-one.
On their left, of course, the clubs and the Art Deco hotels that define what South Beach is. On the right, the Atlantic Ocean, ready to greet thousands and thousands of people on a beautiful Sunday in Miami. But right now, Lifetime Miami Half Marathon. As our leaders continue through the streets of Miami Beach, GP, I know you were out there yesterday to help kick off race weekend at the Tropical 5K.
Well, here I am down on the MacArthur Causeway, heading from Miami Beach to South Beach for the Miami Tropical 5K 2014 edition. Some 2,500 runners behind me. Ages range from preschool. I spoke to some folks from the Run for Education program, which is great. Have a preschooler in there, to runners up in the 70s and beyond. Conditions right now about 72 degrees this morning. The humidity is not too bad, better than it has been the last couple of days. So just absolutely fantastic to see how this race has grown. It is the prequel, of course, for the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon and Marathon, which will have some 25,000 plus runners taking place in that race. I'm sure some of these runners behind me are using today as a warm-up as well, and they'll be ready to go tomorrow. So they'll be heading down to Nikki Beach, and it is a fantastic day down here at the Miami Tropical 5K 2014 edition.
A lot of our marathoners use the Tropical 5K as a warm-up for the Lifetime Miami Marathon. And yesterday's 5K winner, Miami's Brian Sharkey, is one of the top local favorites in the half marathon. Congratulations to our women's Tropical 5K champion, 47 years young Elizabeth Septius, still has plenty of speed. Tropical 5K attracts runners of all ages, so your entire family is out here to participate.
I've been running since ever, just like I haven't really been running serious, but I've been running like since ever.
Well, you seem pretty serious. Let's talk about, first of all, congratulations on the 5K and your medal. That's awesome. Talk to me about the half marathon tomorrow. What are you thinking? What's your thoughts on the half marathon tomorrow?
Well, first, my goal is to finish it, and I just want to have fun.
Soy de Loja, Ecuador.
Very nice to meet with you. How was the race today? How did you enjoy the race? How are the conditions for you today?
¿Cómo estaban las condiciones? ¿Cómo le gustó la carrera? Una hermosa carrera. Felicitaciones a los organizadores por esa administración que prácticamente llega a la excelencia. Les felicito. He corrido en algunos países, pero a mí me parece muy optimizante la organización.
Crossing over 17th Street here on Washington. If the runners were to look to their left, this was the scene over here at the Miami Beach Convention Center, the scene of the Nissan Health and Fitness Expo presented by the Miami Herald and El Nuevo Herald. Took place the last 2 days, where the 25,000 plus participants at the 2014 Lifetime Marathon and Half Marathon came. Packet pickup, vendors, and there were even some people there talking. You were there doing your usual thing. What was the crowd like over at the expo?
Huge crowds this year, especially yesterday on the Saturday, and excellent vendors, races from all around the world. People, you can go there and you can find every possible piece of equipment and apparel. These are the things that have changed in the last 10 years now, David. From water, different kinds of ways you can carry water and fluids, to energy gels, to apparel, different sun visors. I mean, everything. And some really good lectures taking place as well.
As we make our way through mile 7, just right on that 5-minute per mile pace, and you can see the race has changed a bit. Tabut has just increased his foot speed just enough that he's picked up a gap of about 50 yards or so.
Yeah, Tabut initially didn't do anything. He was just maintaining that sort of 5-minute cadence, and all of a sudden, George Toet just couldn't hang on to that pace. Got about a 10-meter gap on him, and Tabut just looked back, and as soon as he saw the gap open, then he put the hammer down, because it's like, you smell blood and you went for it.
As Tabut begins a solo journey towards the finish line, let's check in with Lee Zolman, who's back with the crowds.
Dave and GP, here we are, world famous Ocean Drive. This is what makes South Beach so famous, this patch of road right here. But I'll tell you, this kind of race here today is so difficult because of the humidity. You can see the sweat pouring off of the runners here. What an unbelievable event. 25,000 plus runners here. Great support from American Airlines, Baptist Health, and of course, City of Miami Beach. Back to you guys in the truck.
A longtime partner, Publix Supermarkets, a beautiful sort of Art Deco type store here on Miami Beach at the conclusion of the Publix Mile. Making their way through mile 8, Edward Tabut, again our established leader, looking to take a little detour underneath the misters. That's interesting. You wouldn't expect your elites to take that opportunity.
You know, it's, again, sitting here on the truck, we don't feel the warmth, but I'm sure he's feeling the humidity more than the warmth. Took an opportunity to take a little car wash going through there. Cool off a little bit.
Edward Tabut in the very dominant lead right now here at the conclusion of our Publix Mile. The Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, and by Baptist Health South Florida, healthcare that cares.
Any store can tell you about saving. At Publix, we love to show you how to save more. Check out our weekly ad, full of savings. Buy one, get one free? How awesome is that? BOGO, BOGO, BOGO. Savings, 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 savings everywhere. Plus, we're really coupon friendly, so you know you'll be saving like a champ. Coupon here, here. It just takes a little planning. You love to shop here? You'll love to save here. Come on, let's go save some money. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back to the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. One of my favorite scenes on the Lifetime Miami Marathon, Half Marathon course is, of course, the Venetian Causeway. It's beautiful for many reasons. The light of day is just starting to make its way 44 minutes into the race. GP right now, it's all Edward Tabut all the time. Let's learn a little bit more about our current Lifetime Half Marathon leader.
A true legitimate Kenyan runner, 2:14 marathoner. He runs for the very, very respected what's called the American Running Club. They're based out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. So he's a man that trains at altitude. I'm sure he's enjoying these sea level conditions right now, and he looks very comfortable. 30 years old, cruising along mile 8, mile 9 on the gorgeous Venetian Causeway. He knows that all he's got to do is maintain. This race is his to. It's already won. He's just got to keep rolling along, and I don't see any reason why that's not going to happen.
Edward Tabut, our man in the front. As Edward Tabut seems to have victory in hand at the Lifetime Miami Marathon, we've dropped back to have a look at our leaders in the marathon. We are in the express lane at the toll plaza of the Venetian Causeway. This is our first shot, except early on, of our leaders in the Lifetime Marathon. Who do we have, GP?
We have Julius Chogi out there in front, and he is definitely in the express lane. Julius is a 23. He's a very young man from Kenya. And I believe that is Samuel Molakwin behind him, also from Kenya as well, even younger, at 21 years young. So two young guys in the express lane on the Venetian Causeway.
No tolls necessary, and you can see by their interplay, maybe one is not that happy, the other has not stepped up to keep the pace going, perhaps?
Haven't we seen that over the years, Dave, where, you know, one guy's doing all the work, he's the aggressor, and they get a little frustrated if the guy's just sitting drafting. They don't mind the guy drafting behind him, as long as maybe every quarter mile or so they trade off and help each other. But if they don't, if they just sit back there and catch a ride, it's not much fun for the guy who's pushing the pace.
Edward Tebbout has hit the tape at the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon, 1:06:45, a comfortable victory for the 30-year-old Kenyan. George Towett hangs in there for second place, 1:08:30.
Our second overall finisher in the 2014 Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. That was George Towett from Hebron, Kentucky.
This year at the Lifetime Miami Marathon, more music along the course than ever helps to keep all the athletes, whether there are leaders here of the Lifetime Marathon or the thousands of age group athletes behind them, keeps them motivated, keeps them excited. Our good friends from Baptist Health South Florida, not only providing great medical support here at the race, but providing lots of encouragement and motivation along the way as our two leaders, Choge and Malaquin, make their way through mile 11. Back to the finish line at the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon. And in third place, that's Cesar Cedeno, our first Floridian.
From Desamparados, Florida.
And in fourth, Richard Jones.
Richard Jones. Nice job, Richard.
Fifth place, 1:12:19, first Miami runner. Congrats to Dan Smith. Our leaders through mile 12 is the main part of downtown Miami to the runners left. And GP, let's talk a little bit about form and style. Our two leaders, Choge and Malaquin, with distinctly different styles.
Julius Choge with his right arm very, very close to his torso. His hands are kind of high. Malaquin a little bit lower with the hands, is a little bit more relaxed. Or a little bit more smoother in his style, for sure. He definitely looks, would you agree that he definitely looks smoother in the way he runs? Malaquin in second place right now?
Yeah, and I think the presumption is that the smoother runner is the more capable runner, but I don't think that's the case at all, is it?
It doesn't always work that way. It's so interesting. You certainly wouldn't teach a youngster to run exactly the way Julius Choge is. It's not exactly textbook, but it certainly works for him.
It certainly does as they make their way towards the halfway point of the 2014 Lifetime Miami Marathon.
Good job. You're good. Vamos, Argentina.
Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. The Ultra Life is in the living. And by the Miami Herald and El Nuevo Herald.
Place is packed.
I saved you a seat.
That's fine.
Look at this. Oh, that's so cool.
It's a rough week, huh? Yeah, but it's about to get better.
The hottest nightlife is at Miami.com. Hot city, hot site. This is so good.
The most amazing thing I've ever tasted. You know what? Let's get another.
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic. This is really good.
Find the hottest dining spots at Miami.com. Hot city, hot site.
Any store can tell you about saving. At Publix, we love to show you how to save more. Check out our weekly ad, full of savings. Buy one, get one free? How awesome is that? BOGO, BOGO, BOGO. Savings, 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 savings everywhere. Plus, we're really coupon friendly, so you know you'll be saving like a champ. Coupon here, here. It just takes a little planning. You love to shop here? You'll love to save here. Come on, let's go save some money. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back to the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. And now crossing the finish line of the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon is U.S. Olympian Manny Huerta, and Miami native. He represented the U.S. in triathlon in London. Nice job, Manny. Here's our Tropical 5K winner, Brian Sharkey, and he finishes the half in 1:17:45. Halfway point of the Lifetime Miami Marathon GP as they make their way over the last real hill they'll see here, the bridge over the Miami River, and our two leaders just side by side. Not a lot has changed except the mileage.
No, it's going to be interesting to see if they go all the way, mano a mano, to the finish, or if one of them does, as we just saw earlier in the half marathon, around mile 7 or so, with Tabut and Towet. Towet obviously fading away. We'll have to see what happens with the marathon boys.
Awesome out there! You guys are awesome!
Here's a surprise. Now hitting the tape for the win in the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon, Shannon Miller. She's been training in the cold of New York, but she wins here in Miami in 1:21:08. In silver medal position in the Lifetime Miami Half, that's Yolimar Pineda. Although conditions this year might be a little humid, that doesn't seem to dampen the enthusiasm and spirit of our thousands of runners. Let's check in with our own Lee Zolman.
What greets the runners here around mile 8, beautiful blue skies and a blue cheer station. We have absolutely the best support here on the course. It is electric out here. The runners are loving it. It is a perfect day here in Miami for the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon.
As they go through the aid stations, as a coach, I always look to see the more desperation for fluids. The athletes, the more desperate to reach for fluids, is usually the athletes less relaxed. So that's kind of a interesting perspective.
Well, the anticipated finishing time would be somewhere in the 2:20 time period. Both of these athletes have run much faster than that, so this could be conditions, it could be pacing, it could just be running as quickly as I need to win the race. So right now it's all about placement. The time is a secondary consideration. Our third place woman approaches the finish line at the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon. Angela Brito hits the line in 1:22:37.
I was actually just trying to hang on and figure out hanging on to who was first and second, and then just from that, just was like, okay, I'm just gonna cruise in, do what I need to do, hang on, and then go for placement. I knew in about the 10K, it was more about place today. It was about placement today than it was about time. So I'm very happy, very delighted.
Along South Miami Avenue, another one of the very distinct communities that make up the course of the Lifetime Miami Marathon, as do the runners. It really does pull together the running community here in South Florida and in Miami, GP.
Absolutely fantastic. All the various communities that come into play in this marathon, the Lifetime Miami Marathon, are just absolutely fantastic. And this community here, just gorgeous. This gated community. I believe this is where you keep home as well, David. Is that right?
Not exactly. But I think over the 12 years of this race, it really has, the race organizers and the operators, what they've been able to do is not only been able to take runners for a beautiful tour of all the great communities, but they've been able to bring all of the different running groups and organizations and clubs and sort of bring them together to tell them, this is your marathon, be proud in it, come out and be a part of it. As you know, GP, being able to run at an even pace is crucial for a successful marathon, but for a lot of runners, this is not easy, and that's why the Lifetime Miami Marathon uses a team of experienced marathon pacers to help each runner reach their goal.
I would say there are two reasons why you would want a pacer. One is if you're used to running in a group, when you find a pacing group, you stay with the group for the entire race, so it feels like the same environment that you did when you were training with a group. The other reason is if you are nervous about your timing, if you don't know if you're going too fast or too slow, you just pick your target time, find the pacer for that time, and just stick with them, and the pacer will take care of making you cross the finish at the time that you want.
The mental aspect of the race is huge. When you're out there on your own, sometimes the mental gets the best out of you, and you start thinking, oh, I can't do this, or what am I doing this? Oh, what was I thinking? But when you're with other people, you encourage each other, and you realize, this is tough, but we can do it. We're here. We're going to make it together. We're running as a team, and we help you believe, yes, you can do it. It is tough, but you can do it.
And if we're at like mile 20 and they feel still pretty good, I just say go ahead and go. I want you to achieve your goal or even shatter your goal. So if they're feeling good at mile 20, I'll let them go. I just don't want to pass them back up.
It's an amazing experience. There's so many different reasons, but pacing for me is all about helping people and supporting them to reach those goals. And running a marathon is not an easy thing, but it's totally doable. Especially the group that I run with, the 5.5 hours, a slower group. I usually get a lot of beginners. People always have a dream, and I love helping people achieve their dreams. So that's one of the reasons I became a pacer.
Let's check in again with Lee Zolman, who has found the Baptist Health South Florida Cheer Zone. Lee?
If anyone has come to Miami, you know about the people here. We have great support. We have great spectators. They just make the race more phenomenal than it already is. We are in the thick of the action downtown Miami, and this is what makes Miami so great. The crowds, the spectators, it is just a great race.
Yeah, we've seen different points where they're more wiping of the face, more looking over at each other, so more just trying to establish, I know how I feel. I wonder how he feels.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Dave, is, at the start of the race, there were some other legitimate marathons with some great pedigrees in the low 220s. These two gentlemen are only running at about those 220s, so it shows that they're so far out of sight that the conditions are definitely a factor. These other previously 220 marathoners are nowhere near to be seen.
Yep. The 26.2 miles of any marathon are challenge enough. When you factor in atmospheric conditions, it adds to what is already a very challenging endeavor. The Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by the Miami Parking Authority and by the City of Miami. Welcome back to the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. Making our way out of Coconut Grove, you can see our organizers here have established some additional misting stations to cool the athletes off. Did both of our leaders go through, by the way? Just one, perhaps?
Yeah, just one. Just Chogi went through it, and you know what? He seemed to come out of it. He has an awkward style, but he seemed to be very strained when he came out of it. Malakwin chose to go around it and stay dry. And I just got a feeling that that's kind of indicative. It just seems like Malakwin is starting to feel a little bit stronger.
Crucial in that whole effort, of course, is the partnership that the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon has with the Baptist Health South Florida, handling all the medical. I mean, it's how important could that possibly be?
You couldn't stress how important that is. It is so important. Can be a life and death situation, these marathons, under these kinds of circumstances. So it's absolutely critical to have Baptist Health South out here protecting and making sure and studying and monitoring on the course, and especially at the finish line as well.
Leading up our medical team, we have two of the best, Drs. Tin Tran and Dr. Thomas San Giovanni.
The plan for the unknown. I think that's the most difficult thing. And again, it's really to control the excitement and the emotion during the peak of the activities. I think that's always a difficult part, but that's the most exciting part as well.
We see a lot of overuse type injuries, stress fractures, just routine abrasions and from falls that they've had. We've seen a couple fractures as well, acute fractures. Other things, though, are related to, let's say, proper training. So we'll have people that have electrolyte imbalances and fluid problems, even the occasional cardiac event.
The medical team, medical sponsor to this race, is also send a signal, a very strong signal to our family at Baptist that wellness, activities, fun is part of the equation, and also really leading and setting an example for our community as well, because we are, at the end of the day, is the healthcare providers for South Florida.
We are probably one of the hottest marathons, at least in the United States. And because of that, we've started to actually develop our own protocols. Okay, so our protocols may differ somewhat from those of the other marathons because of the heat that we see. We have already started to initiate some research that we're going to be doing on marathon runners in these events, particularly looking at electrolyte balance and some of the more common injuries and conditions we'll see with a hot marathon. At some point in time, Chicago or New York or Minneapolis may have a day that would be not characteristic of a November day. And if there's something that they can gain from us, we really want to be able to help the other marathons as well, as much as they've helped us. So.
Bayshore Drive as we make our way up towards Key Biscayne, and this is DDA move of the day. He had been, and again, we saw him at different times as the runner that was more challenged, that looked less comfortable, because he would come up alongside Chogi and then drop back, come up. And so, you know, you look at it one way, you think he doesn't have what it takes. You look at it another way, maybe he was just simply testing the water, seeing what was going on. The gap is picked up to, you figure these cones are about 10 meters apart, up to about 50 meters right now, in less than a third of a mile.
Yeah, it happened very, very quickly. I think going back to that last misting that happened about a mile or so back, when Chogi went through the mist, and Malakwin chose to go around it, it just looked much, much smoother at that point in time. So, and then it proved to be true.
And look at the turnover. You can see he's actually picked it up. This will probably be one of the fastest miles in the last, like, 8 or 10, would you guess?
Definitely.
His style has just picked it up.
We're here at the American Airlines aid station, one of 2 American Airlines aid stations out here on the course. This one aid station will give out over 6,000 cups of fluids to the runners. Also, they have 60 to 70 American Airlines employees and their families manning the booth here, motivating the athletes to run. And this is what really helps get all the runners through the race.
Our leader, Samuel Malaquin out of Kenya. He is through mile 24, 2.2 miles to go. Victory all but assured. Yet, as we discussed before, anything truly can happen.
Things can happen. They certainly do happen in marathons, but I don't think it's going to be the case today. I think Malaquin is well on his way to a nice, comfortable victory and some prize money.
Now, altogether, $20,000 in prize money given out from the very fastest marathoners, fastest half marathoners, all the way down to wheelchair, hand crankers, the masters category. So spreading the money out amongst a lot of competitors. The Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by the City of Miami Beach and by the Miami Downtown and Development Authority.
Man, this place is packed.
I saved you a seat.
That's fine.
Look at this. Oh, that's so cool.
So, rough week, huh? Yeah, but it's about to get better.
The hottest nightlife is at Miami.com. Hot city, hot site. This is so good.
The most amazing thing I've ever tasted. You know what? Let's get it on.
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic. This is really good.
Find the hottest dining spots at Miami.com. Hot city, hot site.
Our new planes don't fly any faster, but it sure feels that way. Because with power ports and Wi-Fi and in-seat entertainment for everyone on board, now when you fly, time flies too.
Sir, we're about to land.
We're adding a brand new plane with all this every week. It's just one way we're building the new American.
Welcome back to the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon. He is the winner of the 2014 Lifetime Miami Marathon, racing out of Kenya, Samuel Malaquin. A great race today for Malaquin, GP.
Very smart, very, very smart. He was patient. He studied his opponent, Julius Chogi, all the way through, and then finally made his move at about mile 21. And as I tell my athletes, when you make your move, don't hesitate. David, he didn't hesitate. How quickly did he open up that gap?
He opened up the gap. He brought it all the way home. He is a happy winner here today in Miami. He made a tough battle of it, and he holds on to second place. That's Julius Chogi, also of Kenya.
Yeah, that is Julius Chogi. Julius Chogi coming in about 2 minutes. Here's what happened, and I'm going to confirm last year.
If this face looks familiar, that's because it's last year's champion, Luis Gonzalez of Guatemala, running his second marathon ever, only in Miami.
Last year, third this year at 2:30 wins. Dave, talk to me a little bit. It's warm on the course. If you could run at 2:30 in this condition, you have to be an elite athlete.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, oddly enough, when we're down in Coconut Grove and even in sections of Oxford, there's a fair amount of shade.
Officially. Congratulations, runners. Hello, Team Lifeline. Team Lifeline moving across the finish line with the largest charities involved.
Miami always has interesting stories. Mike is from Pittsburgh. Mike, you have a special story. What are you doing here in Miami? You're not running, obviously.
I'm not running. My girlfriend Mara is running, and she's going to be crossing the finish line here in about 10 minutes. And she doesn't even know I'm here, and I'm going to surprise her with that, and then I'm going to surprise her by proposing to her.
And you have a ring somewhere. You
I
don't
do.
Have to show us
It's okay. I can show you. It's back pocket.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Thanks,
That
man.
is beautiful. All right, so let's see what happens.
She'll
out
be
there.
here soon. I'm excited.
And we're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
South Florida athletes in the disability division. Congratulations. Finishing the Lifetime Miami Marathon at 2:52 inches.
In those final 2 miles, or even say final mile, is this when you're starting to realize that the win is yours, or does it only happen when you hit the finish line?
No, when I started running at 21st mile, and I created that gap, I knew I was going to win it because I was feeling strong. I was strong when I was pulling away. So.
The Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is not only a great way for athletes of all ages and abilities to celebrate their fitness, it also serves as a platform to help others. Thousands of runners raise funds and awareness for their favorite charities, and GP is with just a few of them right now.
I'm here with Ricardo Sarmiento, all the way from Colombia, representing team 42 by 42 by 42. Welcome.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Tell the audience a little bit about team 42 by 42 by 42 and what we're doing here today.
Okay, well, we're running for kids in Colombia that are not able to do physical education. So the main focus of this team is to create awareness among kids so they can go to do PE. We are sponsoring 800 kids in a very small town in the foothills of Colombia in Villavicencio. It's called Villavicencio. And the idea is to sponsor these kids so they can do physical education. Mainly, we want them to do running. They are doing a bit of gymnastics right now, but the idea is that they run.
We love the association. For years and years, we've had a kids running program here and associated with the Miami Marathon. So everyone here on behalf of the Miami Marathon, Lifetime Miami Marathon, we're so behind you. We wish you the greatest success. We think what you're doing with children is absolutely wonderful, and we look forward to seeing you back bigger and better and stronger in 2015.
Thank you very much. We'll be here.
We've got a repeat winner at the Lifetime Miami Marathon. That's Mariska Kramer as she crosses the finish line. Originally from the Netherlands, a time of 2:49:27, not really what she was hoping for, but again, we've talked about it all day long. The humid conditions have forced athletes to adjust their paces accordingly. Congratulations, Mariska, two-time winner.
Jessica from Houston, Texas, Miami Half Marathon, all finished. How'd it go?
It was wonderful. Very hot, but it was wonderful. Beautiful course.
What were some of the better parts or the best parts of the Miami course?
You know, about 4 miles back, there was a lot of spectators, and that was awesome. We missed a lot because of the bridge, but it was awesome when they came out with the signs and everything.
Would you come out and do it again?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Carolina and Alfred from Miami Bridge. Tell us what's going on with Miami Bridge and why people should come and join Miami Bridge for 2015, perhaps.
Okay, basically we are the only at-risk shelter in all of Miami for homeless and underprivileged and at-risk youth between the ages of 10 and 17. And we take them in, we house them for a good amount of time and then place them into foster homes, etc.
Is it more than a coincidence that you're dealing with very serious situations with children, but you're associating yourself with a healthy athletic event? That would make sense, correct?
That is exactly the idea. Like, we are trying to, through the sport events, getting the kids excited about, getting the people that run sport events, they're so giving that they all usually are very willing to help and volunteer, that we putting the two together would raise awareness, make the kids excited, make the kids work out and go for a run and be healthier.
In that silver medal spot in the marathon, Elena Junila. And the bronze medalist right behind her, Bertine Lane of Miami, 3:09:39. Good job, ladies.
Patricia from Dominican Republic, how did your race go out there? You came all the way from the Dominican Republic for the Lifetime Miami Half Marathon.
Yes. This is the first time I do the half marathon. It's the first time I do 13.1 miles.
But you're still moving. You're still moving.
Yeah, because I'm excited. I'm pretty excited.
This was your first race. What was the best part?
Everything. It was great. I mean, the view, everything. The weather is great, and they had water all the time. The hydration was pretty good, so it's been a great race.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Bye.
Congratulations, runners. You look great. Is that my friends from Black Girls Run? Yeah, what's that? That's a nice skirt. I got to give a shout out to all my friends from the Tallahassee area.
No es cualquier cosa. Voy a postear mi foto en Facebook, la voy a retuitear en Instagram.
Well, Lee, I think she said yes. We'll be back with more from the finish line after this. The Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon is brought to you by Miami-Dade County.
And by Gatorade Endurance.
It's my goal.
It's my dream.
It's my destination.
It's my Miami.
I heard the voices telling me I couldn't.
I'd never make it.
It wasn't for me.
It's too hard.
Can't stop.
Won't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
My perseverance.
My training.
My dedication.
My drive. I am Miami.
I am Miami.
I'm running Miami.
Voy a correr Miami.
Jag springer Miami.
We run Miami.
I will not be just 1 in 25,000,
But the 125,000 want to be.
Miami famous.
As the action in the Lifetime Miami Marathon and Half Marathon continues, we have one more race to go, and no doubt one of the most anticipated. It's the Kids Run Miami Final Mile. These kids from all over Miami-Dade County have run a total of 25 miles over the past 15 weeks, and today they finished their own marathon by running 1.2 miles to the finish line.
Kids Run Miami is a great program. We've been doing this for 11 years. The children run an accumulation of 25 miles a week leading up to the marathon in their physical education classes, and they get to participate and complete their 1.2 miles in the actual Miami Marathon, which is the most incredible opportunity for our kids.
set, go!
And what I really like is that they're out here fighting childhood obesity. Even though they don't know it, they're having fun. But this is an important message because the message is be healthy, it's fun. And that's what we're celebrating here today.
The kids not only learn the benefits of a healthy and active lifestyle, but fitness programs like this help improve self-esteem and teach kids how to set and attain their goal.
Darren from Miami Gardens, you just finished 1.2 miles.
Thank you.
How does it feel? Tell us a little bit about how it went for you.
I was tired, to be honest, but it was pretty fun. I met a lot of new people, and it was great.
Absolutely fantastic weekend. The Lifetime Miami Marathon has runners running from age 5 to 70 plus in the marathon and everyone in between.
A day of defending champions and a day of toughness out there. The conditions were not easy.
Seasoned professionals come in from all over the world, tough conditions. The ones that were patient were the ones that paid off with their victories today.
Started with the expo on Friday, continued Tropical 5K, and of course, today's full half and Kids Run Miami, a great weekend.
A great weekend. A shout out to Baptist Health South for keeping us all safe with their incredible medical personnel. Essentially, extremely important today with these conditions, David.
Big shout out to the volunteers as well. Final thoughts, GP?
Lace up your shoes if you're watching this at home. Get out the door, start training. You can join us next year for the 5K half marathon and marathon, right, David?
That works for me. For GP Burlberg, I'm Dave Ragsdale. We'll see you at the starting line.